Hey, so what's up everybody, and welcome to this Christmas Eve edition of the Thrift Store Prepper, and we're going live with a holiday special today, and I don't know if you've got anybody watching, not looking as though we have at the moment, and I don't blame you. It's Christmas Eve. I'm sure people have got families and better things to be doing than watching me in my basement unload canned items. So anyway, we're doing a little special something here today, as it is the holidays. I'm actually going live now on Facebook, and I'm also recording a video which we're going to be uploading to YouTube a little bit later at the same time. Save me production costs. So there's no production cost there. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to mislead you into thinking this is a professional setup, but as you know, it clearly isn't. So it is the holidays, and it's Christmas Eve, and part of the reason I'm doing this video as well is to show just how easy it is to go out at the busiest time of year, possibly one of the busiest shopping days you could get. Maybe this Black Friday, Valentine's Day. These are days that are going to be kind of busy in most stores, so today was no exception. I went to the local Dollarama and I went to my No Frills. You know, as if you've been following, you know these guys are both next door to me, and have been the main source for my food prep that we've been building. And I think we're up to 3 weeks now. I've lost a little bit of track over the last couple of weeks. I've been busy with work, holiday times, and service industry usually means we're working our butts off. So I got myself to the thrift stores this afternoon, to the Dollarama and to the No Frills. I left my house at 1 PM, and by 3 PM I was back with the $100 haul. This is the biggest food haul we've done yet in the Thrift Store Prepper, and part of another reason that I did this, that I did pick up a little Christmas bonus from my boss at work last night, and I'm actually off today and off tomorrow, so I figured, why not get myself out, spend the money on something sensible rather than drugs or hookers. So there we go. I put my Christmas bonus to good use, and I spent $50 in each store, give or take a buck or two. And as I say, we're not really keeping tabs on this. There's no rules to how much we spend or how much you don't. But we spent $100, and basically what I'm trying to do is bulk up the food prep, and hopefully stretch it out to last a little bit longer in a case of emergency. So I've got a decent food supply to be sitting on. And again, I keep mentioning, and I will mention again, that many people aren't necessarily prepping for the end of days or for catastrophic events. And some people, they have families, they're working or at school, or people are just living on their own on low income, don't got much money to spend. This is a good example of the sort of food that you can buy and feed your family on, and that can actually last quite a little bit of time. And it's certainly sort of things you can use as stable parts of your diet, and things that people can eat every day. If need be, as part of a breakfast item, or things for lunch, or just snacks. So before I continue to ramble on and on about non-so-cool things, let's get ourselves situated and start unbagging this stuff. So I had a huge amount of food today, and it was a bit of a struggle on my own and using public transportation. So I took my little buggy along that gave me some more carrying space and make things a little bit easier. I could put it along, and I also filled up 2 huge bags from the Dollarama. So it's quite an effort, but we managed to do it, and we managed to do it in 2 hours, and we managed to do it in Christmas Eve. Surprisingly, the Dollarama didn't have many people in, just a couple of people picking up gift wrap in items and stuff like that, but there was a little bit of chaos going on in the No Frills, with people picking up last minute turkeys and other stuff for the Christmas holidays. So it was a bit of a headache, but still managed to get in, get out, do what we needed to do, took care of business. So I'm going to go and grab the bags and we're starting baggage. Oh my goodness. And I can't actually pick the buggy up because it's far too heavy and I can't put it on my little workspace. So the first item I got is good old pork rinds. Now I'm pretty crazy for these since I tried them for the first time, and again they are a dehydrated food. We've mentioned the benefits of these, not just for my snacks and munchies, but you can actually utilize these in long-term prepping items, or just for your pantry, that you can use in more ways than just opening and eating them with a 6-pack of beer or after you've had a blunt or two. So these are good items. We'll probably do a little video of how we're gonna condense these into smaller portions for storage. So we've got 3 bags of those. Those were like $3, just over $3 for that. And we've already made one recipe using these, and we're probably looking to making some more in the future. So that was the first item. Second item is more minute oats. Now we're looking to stockpile and have a few bulk items. So again, we've got the 1 minute oats. They don't take so much water as the regular oats. 2 big bulk buys there. That's going to last you quite a long time. Don't need much explanation about those. We spoke about oatmeal before, and these are things that if you've got a family or a kid, this is probably much more economic to buy than the little individual packets. And kids do love their oatmeal, and you can add stuff to it as well. We have trail mix and stuff, which we've got more of today, which is kind of a little bit of a spoiler if you're wondering what we've got, but we'll go into that a little bit later. But the other thing we have here is something we haven't seen before, and this is skimmed milk powder. Now, it's not exactly very nice to drink if you mix it with water. I don't know if you've ever drunk skimmed milk before, powdered skimmed milk before. It's pretty disgusting, but this is kind of a prison commissary item and a source of protein. With just 4 teaspoons, which is 25 grams, you're going to get 9 grams of protein. And this is what the guys who are busting weights and working out all day, this is what they use as a protein supplement in prison. And it's something again that you can, a couple of spoonfuls in with your oatmeal here. That's just going to add a source of protein to you, and it's going to give a little bit of flavour. And most of the instant packs of oatmeal that you do buy will contain some form of powdered or skimmed milk or coffee creamer type stuff to give it that milky, creamy texture. So, that's 500 grams, and this makes 5 liters of skimmed milk. So that's a good thing to have and be putting in your pantry. So you can fold that up, looking 5 liters of milk right there. So another thing I got was, we haven't seen before, couscous. Now I did mention couscous one time before, and the reason I've got this is because unlike rice and pasta, you really kind of only have to hydrate it. It does take a little bit more water than your ramen noodle, but 1 cup of this to 1 cup of water, and you bring it to the boil, it absorbs, and it's certainly a very filling thing. And again, this is something you can maybe, if need be, throw a handful of dried raisins or break up a beef jerky or something and chuck in there, and it's a little bit more flavour, and it's going to be one of those things that fills you up. So this was $4 for 2 pounds, not really a very good bargain, but that will actually go very far, and I think it's certainly a better thing to be buying than rice in pasta, because it does you lose less water, and it's slightly smaller and less bulky. This you probably get more servings out of this than you would out of a big packet of penne or macaroni. So this is something I consider as a very good item to have. Again, you could even probably put them in a mason jar overnight, the same as your oats, and you could pour some water over them, and hopefully by the next day that they'll be hydrated enough to eat. You can't really eat them like this, but couscous. It's a nice thing to have, and it just makes a change from rice or oatmeal or ramen noodles. So another thing I got is pure white vinegar. Now this is not necessarily for any other purpose, just it's for a little bit of flavor. You can also use it as a sanitizer and a cleaner. You can use it as an antiseptic of sorts, and that's really it. It was only $1 or 80 cents or something stupid like that for a liter. But you know, if you do mix some lemon juice and some baking soda and some water with your white vinegar, that's going to make a good cleaning product that you can sanitize your dishes or spoons with if you are in an emergency situation. And you know, there was the Jack and Jill went up the hill nursery rhyme that they bandaged his head with vinegar and brown paper. So I don't know if that's an old wives' tale, but I think there is some medicinal purposes, and as I say, I think you can use it as an antiseptic if you need be. So it's a good utility item, and we can also use this for some pickling, which I do promise that I will bring you that video at some point in the new year. But for now, that's just going to go over there. So I also picked up on some cans, because they have a lot of cans in the No Frills that's at 77 cents, and some of these things you will have seen before, some of these things you won't. Most of them don't really need much explaining, and why I favour cans is because, you know, you just open them, you don't even have to cook them, you don't need anything to cook them in. If you did, you could just put this on a small grill or an open flame, cook it straight in the can, eat it, you're good to go. So we got some beans, mixed bean salad. We got a couple of cans of here. These were actually 77 cents, and there's two 540 ml cans there. So there's a lot of beans there, and unlike the dried beans, we're not going to have to use any water whatsoever to soak them or to cook them. We can just go, and they actually do have some marinade or juice in there that you could use to hydrate your ramen noodle, or even pour into your couscous for a little bit of flavour, you know. And again, these are things that you can mix in with some couscous and make yourself a meal. The other thing is we've got some pork and beans. I got some dried sliced potatoes. Potatoes are a great source of vitamins and proteins and all sorts of things, so they're a great item to be stocking up on. They are actually considered a bit of a superfood. So we got some more beans there with pork, and we got a good old luncheon meat, which is $1.37 a can. I picked up 6 cans of those, and as you can see, this is not even half the stuff I got from the store yet. There's some more beans. Something else I got was some carrots, just to get a veggie in there. I mean, and some vitamins. It just gives you a few extra, you know, ingredients to play with if you are working in a, you know, a family environment, trying to make meals for these kids or for families. You've got, you know, there you go. You can make a meal right there. Some luncheon meat, carrots and potatoes and some beans, and you know, that's maybe $4 right there. So got 2 cans of carrots. I believe I got 2 cans of potatoes, and 4 cans of beans, I believe. There's the rest of the luncheon meat, and that was everything from the No Frills. Now, I might have to move this over here, make some room, because we can get stuff in the cameras. For the Dollarama unbagging, and a lot of the things from the Dollarama stuff you've already seen, and you know, part of this was really just to kind of bulk up on items and really kind of pack it out with a lot of stuff. So you can see just from No Frills, what do we got? 4, 8, 10, 16 cans of food from the No Frills, and we got all these minute oats. We got our couscous, skimmed milk, and the good old chicharrones. We'll just toss those down there. You've seen those before. So that's everything from the buggy. So, bag number 1, I've had something fall down. And again, we put this up on the table to see just how heavy that is. So, the total of everything, I think, the no frills come to $51. And I spent $60 at the Dollarama, but that was because about $12 of that was stuff that I needed for personal use and not necessarily for my prepping pantry. So the first thing we've got here is some complete just add water Aunt Jemima's pancake mix. Again, this is a pretty good thing to have. It's going to be something that will fill you up, and you just have to have water, and it gives you a source of proteins and fibers and sugars and some calcium. So, you know, great item to have. Just $2.47. That's going to give you quite a lot of pancakes there. And of course, the other thing, if you're going to have pancakes, you're going to need your syrup. And the other thing you can use this for is for flavouring with your oatmeal, obviously for your pancakes. And I don't really think there's any particular goodness in this Aunt Jemima's syrup, but in the actual real maple syrup, I think is another one of those items like honey. This got some pretty good properties to get, but you know, this was just a couple of bucks, and as I say, you can't really be having your Aunt Jemima's pancake mix without your Aunt Jemima's syrup. So there you go. And as I said, it's got more than one purpose. We can use it with other things. We picked up more raisins. Oh, that was something that wasn't supposed to come out. M&M Christmas M&Ms. They were $3. So we got some more raisins. Let me have a look. What else we got? Some chocolate pretzels. These are kind of things that I actually do eat. These aren't really necessary to keep for any long time. They probably won't even last the night as it goes, but there you go. We've got some chocolate pretzels, and I am going to be using some of these items to do something with in the future. We're going to be making our own trail mix, or what I consider the best trail mix you can get, because some of the trail mixes you buy, you know, they're not bad, but they're full of things like pine nuts or sunflower seeds. They're very little and make up the majority of the ingredients, and the good stuff like the candies and the peanuts and the cashews, they kind of skimp on those. So in the new year, we're going to be doing quite a few different videos. I'm going to take this maybe in a different direction after we've filled up our food pantry, and look at some other prepping or thrifty ideas, not just for the doomsday but for everyday life. So that's one of the projects I got lined up to make, is my own trail mix. And that leads us right into the next item now. I told you why I like these and done a couple of videos of this particular bag and why I think this is a good item to have as an emergency item. And this is an alternative they have, which this one's only the 210 grams. It's got 40 grams left. It still costs $2. But I got this one because it's just a little bit different. It has some fruits and some peanuts and some other things in there. And again, if we're going to be mixing this kind of stuff in with our oatmeal, that just makes a nice change and makes it a little bit different. So we've got lots of trail mix. I think I left one in there. Yeah, I left one. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And the other bag is here as well, and you can see that's quite a heavy bag too, and I'm running a little bit out of space. So there's another